I picked up the cold gold package and things started to go hazy. Gran's favourite butter, I murmured. I stood in the supermarket fridge aisle, weighing the chilled pack in my hand, watching the light catch on the gold wrapper. I saw an unwrapped yellow brick in Gran's blue glass butter dish. Then I replaced the pack, reaching for my mother's usual brand. My grandmother's dining table contents were shining brightly in my mind because she had recently died. We buried her under a wet dishcloth sky that November. It was now December, and I still felt a weight like a stranger's hand on my chest.
Morning, love.
Croaked the cheery checkout woman. My haze drifted a little. Eh? Oh, morning.
You're right, love. Don't look woken up yet.
I paid as quickly as I could, fumbling the coins, and stepped out into the bare, cold street, the wind polishing my face. The sky was an objective electric blue, the sun a blazing lamp. I zipped my coat higher and sat off home. Gran had been gone for over a month, but there was still a gap between the Nicholas walking down the street and the Nicholas who was missing her. The phone booth on my street corner was empty. I stepped inside and dropped a coin in the slot. Danny picked up after 3 rings and my heart surged. Hi, it's me.
Hello, you. How is it going?
Oh, all right. I'm out shopping to get some fresh air.
And think about me?
I'm thinking about you all the time. How are things going for you?
Oh, fine. Lectures are as dull as ever. When am I going to see you again?
The funeral's on Saturday. I'll be back on Monday.
Good. I want to see you, Nick.
Back at home, I clicked the kettle on and unwrapped pre-made corned beef sandwiches, pouring crisps out beside them on the plate. My father, an engineer, was back working at his factory in Manchester. It had been agreed that I would come home from university a little early and keep my mother company whilst reading up for the next term and waiting to see Danny again. My mother came into the kitchen and sat at the breakfast bar, pulling the plate of food towards her.
Thanks, love. Talk to anyone when you were out?
I took a breath.
Mm.
No, dead quiet.
Mm.
The kettle chopped off and I filled the teapot, stirring and squeezing the bags. My mother had taken a mouthful of sandwich whilst I was making the tea.
Lovely corned beef. Your gran made good corned beef sarnies, do you remember?
The words were nostalgic, the tone was flat. Yes, I do, I said. Her mouth smiled and bit again. I poured the tea.
Make sure it's good and strong, love.
I will. I clicked the radio on for the lunchtime news, but as soon as the pip sounded, the skin on either side of my mother's nose pinched and whitened.
Please turn that off, Nick. Let's have some peace, eh?
Okay. I snapped it off and took a pull of hot tea, savouring the bloom of flame on my lips, focusing my annoyance on that. After all, one was grieving for her mother. Irritation at her and guilt at myself blended in an exquisite throb in my chest. I took a mouthful of sandwich, turning the tufts of red flesh around in my mouth, hardly tasting them at all. Lunch consumed, I stood at the sink, dipping the hardly used plates in the water, watching the clothes on the washing line jumping like tethered ghosts. The phone rang. My mother laid her tea towel down.
I'll get it.
I continued to dip, lending half an ear to my mother's conversation with her older sister.
Hello. Oh, hi, Anne. How are you, lovey? Oh, no, right.
I looked over my shoulder at my mother's face. Her eyebrows slanted to a point of concern, her forehead wrinkled, and returned to dipping the lunch things.
Oh, God, Anne, right.
I took up the tea towel and felt a fresh charge in the air. Something needed to be done, and that surely must be better than this gloom.
Now, look, Anne, don't get upset, love. We'll go and have a look and let you know.
I was drying my hands as my mother hung up. What's wrong?
Vandals have attacked Swinton Cemetery.
She slowly shook her head, reaching for the car keys.
We need to have a look. Are you coming?
My mother slowly backed the car off our path, swinging us leftwards to face down the road. A bus thundered past, rocking the car slightly. Knocking the indicator, my mother said,
Here we go.
and began the drive out of town, past a newsagent on the right, a few more houses, and then farmland, ranks of ploughed, petrified fields lying solid under glittering frost, waiting for the spring thaw.
Wonder what the traffic's going to be like?
Should be okay, I said. It's the middle of the day. My mother's foot pushed the accelerator, as if we might catch the vandals before they left the cemetery. My memory shutter jumps momentarily, so quickly it seems not to have happened. I'm standing on the bright green grass of the cemetery for the first time. I'm 5 years old. The dew is wetting my ankles over the tops of my trainers. I am wearing shorts. It is summer. Mummy is kneeling beside me. There is a sheet of newspaper laid over a patch of grass. She is cutting the bottoms off flowers before dropping them into a tin pot. Gran is wiping at a bright black block of stone in front of me. I put one foot on top of the other. Mummy flicks her eyes at me and then looks back at what she's doing.
Nicholas, don't do that, love.
I stand properly, then I look again at what is written on the black stone. Wilfred Walton Dolby, dearly loved grandfather, father and husband, 1920 to 1974, R.I.P. What does R.I.P. mean? Was Grandad ripped? By whom? I look past the gold letters on the stone and into its surface. I see me, my mother, some clouds. I feel as if I'm looking at another world. I can see a picture of me that isn't me. The world I see in the stone is grey, white and black. The other me has totally black eyes. He looks back very hard. I think he's going to come out of the stone. The reflection of Mummy turns and talks to me and I jump.
Have you said a prayer for your Grandad, Nicholas?
No, Mummy.
Well, close your eyes now and say one, eh?
I look down at my green trainers, darker than the grass, and imagine my Grandad smiling in Grand's kitchen. I pray, dear Father God, please keep Grandad safe and happy.
You said a little prayer, Nick?
Yes, Mummy.
Nicker, what's that?
I hear the curl of anger in her tongue and feel a rush of heat in my face. She's pointing at a chip of green stone in my hand. I picked it up from a mass of chips that belonged to a fancy grave further up the road we are standing on. Green is my favourite colour. It looked nice, Mummy.
That is off someone's grave. Put it back now.
I run to the desecrated grave, drop the offending item and return, my chest aching with anxiety.
Don't you ever do that again.
Sorry, Mummy.
Good.
My gran is resting from wiping summer dust from the top of the stone, puffing quietly, watching us.
All right, Sin. He knows he shouldn't have done it.
My mother stares at me through pink-rimmed eyes like the ones I get after swimming underwater at the swimming pool. I look down at my trainers. Later, in Gran's back room, I am handed a piece of sweet currant slice and a cup of cold, creamy milk. The first Christmas that I remember properly begins with us arriving at Gran's house with cold darkness and lazy flakes of snow drifting down, the soft yellow light of the standard lamp in the front room. As we come through the door, my Gran appears in a blue-checked pinafore from the kitchen, wiping her hands to lay them on either side of my face and kissing me on each cheek.
Happy Christmas, little man.
Happy Christmas, Granny.
Do you know what we have a lot at Christmas, Nicholas?
I smile hopefully. Presents?
Yes, and snowballs.
She winks over my shoulder at my parents and takes me by the hand to the kitchen. I don't look back in case someone decides whatever I'm about to be given isn't good for me after all. Laid out on the worktop are a tall glass and 3 bottles of diamond bright lemonade, acid green lime cordial and a bright butter yellow liquid. Granny then mixes me my very first snowball, and just when my eyes are ready to drop out of the sockets, she pulls a tub of vanilla ice cream out of the freezer and drops a blob into the drink, turning it into a foaming potion. Magic snowballs, Granny.
Yes, they are magic, me duck. Your aunt was saying some thugs have had a go at the cemetery up at Weast as well, and your great-grandmother's buried up there, of course, isn't she, Nicholas?
Sorry? Yes.
Come on, absent-minded professor.
I laughed, blushing. Sorry. I was thinking of the day before I'd come home for the funeral. I lay quietly, warm on the side hug by Danny, as the birds welcomed the day and the window washed itself from navy blue to turquoise. She woke up and we kissed, and then I said I needed to go home. The funeral's tomorrow, but can I call you?
Yes, of course.
She smiled. Later I dressed and slipped out of her flat and caught the bus back home, watching people make their way through the city to their jobs, thinking of the tiny beauty spot at the corner of the moon, then thinking ahead to the silent faces in Gran's back room, the black suits, the door of her front room ajar, the curtains closed. My mother sighed.
Nick, what is it? You're off in a world of your own.
Nothing, sorry, just thinking about the funeral. One day, Gran is cleaning her house with the same care as she has always taken, and she begins to sweat. She manages to complete the vacuuming and make a cup of sweet tea. The sweating continues, but when Gran tries to wipe it off, her hand comes away dry. The sweating turns into rushing pins and needles. She telephones for an ambulance and lies down. The ambulance crew find her lying on her bed 20 minutes later, staring at the ceiling, withstanding the first of a series of strokes that will finally kill her.
I didn't know what else to do, Sin.
She says later, propped up in the hospital bed that she will die in.
Just needed to have a rest.
My mother rubs her hand gently.
That was the best thing to do, darling.
We parked up by the entrance to the cemetery, its railing the same arsenic green I remembered. My mother touched her fingers to her chin.
God, what will it be like?
I don't know, but we can't change what's been done.
I suppose you're right.
We climbed out and locked up. In the street there was little little damage visible. I saw a Crime Stoppers poster tied to the gate, appealing for information. But as we stepped into the cemetery itself, the damage became obvious. Stones had been uprooted, pushed, kicked. Fireworks had been lit and thrown, the charred tubes lying here and there like spent cartridge shells. An angel had been test flown off her plinth, a cheek ploughing into the grass, one wing snapped off. An urn dedicated to the memory of a World War II soldier lay half shattered in grenade fragments. As I looked about, I could hear the silence. We moved down the avenue, turned right onto the next path, and left down the road containing my grandparents' grave. Neither of us said a word until we were standing directly in front of it. The same obsidian block stared back at us, immutable and eternal. My mother sighed.
They're all right then?
Yes, they are.
God, Nicholas.
I know. We stood for a moment looking at the stone. My mother rustled.
Have you said a prayer, love?
I bit my teeth together for a second. Yes. We turned to go. Off to our right, a tall, grey-haired man was walking along the path, a cigarette cupped inside of his hand, European style. An unleashed greyhound roving this way and that. As we left our row, he came level with us, nodding. Afternoon? Terrible, isn't it?
It's disgusting.
My mother said through a sigh. Suddenly there was a noise in the background, a rushing like a small jet of water or gas. Local kids did it, he shook his head. Sad really, still, they'll get theirs, eh? At that moment I saw that his dog was urinating over a toppled gravestone. There was a beat, the dog was behind him in full view. His grin intensified and he took another pull on his cigarette. I coughed. Excuse me, your dog's going to the toilet. Yes, he said across me, addressing my mother. Don't you worry, love, they'll get theirs.
Yes.
My mother's voice sounded vague. Something shifted in my head and I felt as if I was in a dream. Would you mind stopping your dog from doing that? That's someone's grave. He seemed to see me properly for the first time. Pulling his lips back over his teeth, he said, I beg your pardon, I can't very well pick up his urine, can I? You shouldn't be doing that in the first place, should he? My mother took a step towards me.
Nicholas!
Look, son, I'm on my lunch break and the dog needs exercising. There isn't a park handy. Okay, I swallowed. Look, Dad, there are plenty of lampposts and you don't have to let him do that when it's already been damaged. My voice sounded reedy, even to me.
Nicholas, let it go.
He stood for a moment, cigarette in hand, other raised in a half fist. Then the mood broke. He flicked the cigarette in a short red line where it fell at my feet. Turning, he whistled to his dog and called over his shoulder, "It's a long tosser. At least I don't let my dog piss on people's graves." He looked over his shoulder but kept walking. There was a deep beat in my chest and a rush of cool air as I breathed again.
What did you think you were doing?
My mother slammed the handbrake down and yanked the steering wheel.
That man could come back and do anything.
Would that be all right as long as it didn't happen to Gran's grave? Through gritted teeth, she said,
Nicholas, sometimes
"Sometimes we need to speak up."
that man could do anything.
He could anyway. There was a pause as we drove along. Anyway, I'm sure he didn't see which grave we were looking at.
You'd better be hoping that.
Mum, what he was doing wasn't on, you know, like kids taking ornamental stones off graves.
What are you talking about?
My mother's voice took on an affected haughtiness and her hand squeaked as the twisted round the steering wheel. It was the only sound in the car for a moment. The next time she spoke, it was through tears.
My mother's grave.
My grandmother's grave. My mother's shoulders sagged a little. I looked through the window at the dry, blood-red terraces and said, I met someone just before I came home. I heard my mother's mouth open and close dryly.
Is she nice?
I saw Danny's face, tasted her lips, felt her arms around me. Yes, she is really nice.
Good. I'm glad.
The weight in my chest wasn't there, at least for now. Lung cleared her throat.
You know, your grandmother would have given that man a flea in his ear.
It felt forced, but it was a start. I smiled. Yes, she would. There was a little light at the edge of the early evening sky. We drove towards it. Thanks very much.
Thank you. There's nothing